Okay, action.
Hello and welcome to The Bomb Filter, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to determine the worst movie ever made. We take terrible movies and put them through a series of tests to decide just that. I'm your host, Chris Aquin, joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci. Hey, Rob, how are you, and why are we doing this?
I'm doing okay, but our boy Claw Boss got COVID, so shout out, feel better. He's the inspiration for this podcast.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Remember, I was incessantly messaging you at 3 a.m. with the school bus videos, and you're like, "We could do something better than that."
That's true.
So that's pretty much what spawned the inception of this show. So I really hope the guy feels better because I actually like his school bus videos a whole lot.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane that he has hundreds of thousands of people that watch him like pull the claw that opens and closes the door on a school bus.
Yeah. And why we're here is to talk about 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo.
Woo.
All right. Well, hey, maybe maybe we won't meet in the middle as much as we normally do on this one, and that'll be interesting.
Okay.
Let's get into some bad reviews.
Sure.
A.O. Scott from the New York Times. All it has in common with the original is a few dumb scares. In the new version, what we're left with after the scares is just plain dumb.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see why people would think that.
Okay. Now, Rob, I want you to, I know you know a lot of critics.
Yeah.
You got a lot of names at your disposal, so I'm going to ask you to guess which one this might be, okay? I'm going to read you the review first.
All right, sounds good.
13 Ghosts is the loudest movie since Armageddon. Flash frames attack the eyeballs while the theater trembles with crashes, bangs, shatters, screams, rumbles, and roars. Forget about fighting the ghosts. They ought to attack the subwoofer.
Yeah. Gene Shalit?
No, not Gene Shalit.
I guess it's got to be Raj then.
Yes, Raj Reaver. Our boy. Yeah, you got to love him.
Yeah.
You got some YouTube comments?
Yeah, so this is from Paul Christman. Okay. I find the frenetic camera work in this flick to be distracting to the point whereby suspense and fear are diminished by it.
That is so accurate.
I'm just trying to get the phonetics down on this next one. I'm sorry. I forgot Rod Digga, that rap with Busta Rhymes, starred in this movie too. Okay.
She did.
Details 8-7 ASAP pages 9-7 swash 978 all ASAP.
Okay.
I think that might be a bot.
Yeah, could be.
It's actually mostly bots after this. So
okay.
That's all I got right now.
All right. Well, we'll jump right into test number 1 then.
All right. Sounds good.
The Keystone Apparatus. So that is a piece of equipment that we use to get a sense of the ecosystem of films that this one is in. So we take the Rotten Tomatoes critic scores for all those movies that make up our ecosystem, and we compare the Rotten Tomatoes score of this one to that average.
Yeah.
If it is less, it is Prey. If it is more, then it is Predator.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a couple Predators, but not many. So let's do the bumper for test number 1, the Keystone Apparatus.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step up to witness my latest creation, the darn-tooted, rage-inducing, convoluted, highfalutin Keystone Apparatus. You want to know if you're predator or prey? Then step this way and have your say. Wait, oh no, what's happening? Something is going terribly wrong!
The Keystone Apparatus.
Cool. So the first one I jotted down was Ghost Ship.
I've seen the poster for that, but I've never actually seen it.
I've heard it's terrible, and it got a 16%.
That's a bad name, too. It's just like you're saying what the thing is,
Yeah, right. So they definitely say it in the movie.
Yeah.
Which they do in this one, too, but it's obvious.
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers with Justin Long. 46%. Little high, maybe.
I know they franchised that one out, but the thing that bugged me was that the first one was like actually fucking terrifying until you found out it was a weird like bat bug fruit thing.
Yeah, he was gross. He was like a gross, like The Hills Have Eyes kind of guy.
Yeah, like that's
and then you found out
biting the tongue out of that guy's head.
Yeah.
That
But then it turned out he was
me.
like a cicada or something.
Yeah, it's like the nipple bat from Fantasia.
The Haunting with Liam Neeson and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Okay.
Only got a 17.
Yeah, that's fair.
House of Wax with Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
A 27.
Okay.
Gothica with our friend Halle Berry.
Okay.
Got a 15. Dude, she's in a lot of bad movies.
Yeah, that was not like her time. I think that's what she was coming up. So she was just taking whatever role she can get, probably.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Trick or Treat with Anna Paquin.
Okay.
Got an 83. I was surprised.
I never even heard of it.
That brings the average up. And lastly, The Skeleton Key with Kate Hudson got a 38.
Okay.
So your average is a 37%.
Oh, okay.
And our movie 13 Ghosts here got 17%. So that's a negative 20 and Prey.
Okay.
So I've already jotted that down.
I could see that. I'm trying to figure out why I like it so much. Like, not like, I'm not like, oh man, you gotta see this movie with the ghosts, but like I kind of like, I'm a real fan of Matthew Lillard and like the stuff he's done in the past.
Okay. All right.
And I don't know if you've ever seen Cabin in the Woods.
Yes, I've seen Cabin. I confused it with Cabin Fever, but yes, I've seen Cabin in the Woods.
So for our listeners, Cabin in the Woods is the one where like these kids are in a cabin in the woods, like quite literally, but like all the ghouls and demons and zombies are like a bunch of guys at an office, like going like, release the zombies, and they're just so fucking bored, and like they're manufacturing their own horror movie, and these kids don't know they're in it, and it's like it's like a meta joke, and like I feel like 13 Ghosts is like meta, not meta, like a proto version of Cabin in the Woods. Like it made me smile. It's like all like the gears, and like, oh, someone's up to something. And
see that I think it excels in one category that we'll get into much later. Yeah. It's maybe our last test. Wink, wink.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's not horrifying in that it's not scary, but it's also not horrifying in that I would if Erin asked me to, which she won't, by the way. But if she asked me to watch it again, I would sit down and watch it next year or something. It doesn't make me that angry, but it's not good.
Yeah.
So let's do test number 2, the elevator movie plot pitch. Okay. So an easy way to determine the strength of a movie is to summarize its plot as succinctly as possible. The gold standard plot pitch for the bomb filter is now The Big Lebowski. Short, clear, and easy to understand, The Big Lebowski can accurately be summarized in as little as 13 seconds. When summarized, bad movies are convoluted, unclear, and lengthy. To help us determine how bad our subject is, we compare its plot pitch to that of our 13-second standard. Any seconds past that adds to our score. We're also going to administer a star rating. So let's do test number 2, the elevator movie plot pitch.
The elevator movie plot pitch.
Okay, stopwatch when you're ready, buddy.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Just like Benjamin Moss, the attorney to Cyrus Kritikos, was sliced in half, so too was every scene in this shit show. The frantic pace seems to be a device they employ to try to lend you some discomfort. After all, what are horror movies if not an attempt to make you uneasy? The problem is, there's nothing scary about it. Monk has to save his kids from ghouls in a glass house with the aid of a stoner and Laura Croft. You get glimpses of a truly cool special effects that are brief highlights in this otherwise perplexing plot. Seriously creepy designs, but they barely show them off. It's like that guy who has a Ferrari. People only get to see it when he takes it out of the garage to wax it like once a month. Anyway, Cyrus was hiding somehow behind glass somewhere as he watched his family get nearly massacred, which, by the way, would have ruined his plans for Satan-guided world domination, I think. Mm-hmm. In short, confusing, frenetic, stupid. It would be the world's best haunted attraction, though.
Yeah.
Time.
106.32. Want to call that 107 because it rounds up over half?
107 seconds.
Oh, a minute and 7 seconds.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Because, so a minute and 7, so that'd be 67. And we take 13 from that, so a score of 54.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
What do you think for a star rating?
I'm going to give you a 5.
Wow, thank you.
I'm going to give you a 5 for that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it.
Cool. Okay. So we'll see how that compares to our champion later on.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to be, some of these movie plot pitches don't sound like something you would pitch to somebody in the elevator, and that's because I'm like annoyed with the movie.
Yeah.
So I tried to stay on subject a bit, but I did go off, and that punishes them maybe a little unfairly, but fuck, that's what
as you're talking, you're making a lot more sense though. So I'm starting to like it less. So it's working out for the point of this podcast. I guess it's a necessary evil to sometimes punch out the plot pitch just to really get your feelings out for the movie to set the tone for the rest of the episode.
Okay, sure. So, well, that works then. Cool. Yeah. All right. So test number 3 is the indefensible dialogue counter.
Okay.
So this test gathers horrible lines of dialogue into a collection that is then tallied to give us our score. So if you can't defend the lines that I give you, Rob, then we tally it up. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Let's send it to test number 3, the indefensible dialogue counter.
Something that makes absolutely no sense. Something similarly stupid.
All right, so this might be the category that I hit them the hardest with.
Okay, sounds good.
So there's a bunch, but some are encapsulated in audio clips, so that will spare the listener from my annoying impression. Number 1, I'm not going to do an impression because it's a short line, but Dennis calls the family the Glass Family Robinsons.
No, I can't reward such shit puns.
It doesn't sound like Swiss.
No.
Okay, number 2.
That's like when Mr. Freeze said, like, let's kick some ice. Like, it's not even...
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you can't, you're right, you can't reward that. Number 2, Kathy about Dennis. That's Shannon Elizabeth's character. She says, weren't you in an orange suit? Which is a good point, because all of a sudden he's in a suit. And then Arthur, her dad, says, don't go there.
And what bothers me most about it is, why was he dressed in, like, he's wearing, like, nice clothes underneath that jumper.
I guess.
He's wearing, like, a bow tie or, like, whatever, like a silk red, like, undershirt and, like, a suit jacket. Like, why would, he didn't have to do that.
It looked like something you would wear to, like, Atlantic City or something for the night.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was funny that Arthur dismissed her. Like, why would you bring it up in the dialogue if you don't want people to notice?
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, no, don't go there. That's like dismissing it, but, just bad. It's all bad.
Yeah.
2?
Yeah, I'll take that off.
All right, number 3 is Dennis. He says, what, you guys couldn't afford walls? I mean, there are walls.
Yeah. And, like, he knows more about the house than they do at that point. So why is he, like, playing dumb? I mean, I guess that's his character. He's like, super intelligent in a way, but also aloof to most regular, like, just social conventions. So,
yeah, I guess.
I guess, but that was dumb. I don't know. I'm trying to explain it.
I mean, they do have walls, and obviously, like, the house is super expensive. So
yeah,
just a weird thing to say. And it's not their house, so it's like you couldn't afford. Well, I didn't build this house.
Yeah,
and there are walls.
Yeah,
and this house is obviously like costs like a lot of money, so it just bugged me in a few different ways.
I got you.
Number 4, Arthur says, "All right, first rule: no throwing stones
at glass houses."
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Ugh. Number 5, Dennis again. He says, I'm getting my ass out this big glass house.
They wrote his character so inconsistently. Because they're in the first scene, like with the in the junkyard. He's like, he sounded like Stan's future me from South Park. Like, oh man, I think I just crapped my pants. And then, like, he's like really serious and straight faced. Like, I don't know if that's his fault or like the director's fault. Like, I don't know if he was directed to speak and talk a certain way.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I can't defend it.
But you're right. He's all over the place. So that's 5 already. Number 6 is Kalina. That's the Laura Croft-like character.
Yeah.
She says, I'm in the spirit reclamation business.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she explains what she does.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Number 7, Arthur talking to Kalina, like pretty much the same scene.
Yeah.
He says, how did you get in here? Not a dumb line, really, but She says back, I slipped through a gap in the house when it shifted. Don't get your hopes up. It won't happen again.
That pissed me off because at this point I was thinking like the whole shifting house, that was, I'm not sure what came out first, but Alien versus Predator operated on a very similar principle where like they're trapped in the pyramids and every 10 minutes, like it was set to like a metric dial and the pyramids would shift. So like if the person was behind you, when it shifted and you turn around, they wouldn't be there anymore.
Right. It's like a whole different maze, basically. Yeah. They didn't fully flesh that out in this movie.
Yeah.
And it also implies that she was standing outside of the house like the whole night waiting. just standing in a berry bush, like with the binoculars through the window. Yeah, exactly. Go. So that's 2 lines there because she said she slipped through the gap in the house, which is stupid. And then she says, don't get your hopes up. It won't happen again, which is just another piece of dialogue that they use to explain to you that it's not a way that they can get out. So I knocked it for 2. Mm-hmm. Do you want to defend either?
No, I'm starting to not want to defend anything about this movie.
All right, cool. Well, number 9 is actually our first audio clip.
Okay.
So this one has a few different lines in it that I absolutely hate. So we're gonna count them up at the end, and then we'll see if you want to defend any of them.
All right, sounds good.
If it's closed now, it's not going to happen again. Let me show you. This is the Arcanum. Many people died in the quest for this book. It was written in the 15th century by an astrologer named Basilius. In it, he describes the making of a certain machine, one that can see into the future. He wrote it while he was under demonic possession. I can't believe Cyrus built it.
Built what? What are you talking about?
Basilius' device. We're in the middle of a machine designed by the devil and powered by the dead.
So 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 are all in there. I hate that she's explaining that it's the Arcanum, the book that was written by like a philosopher or something who was possessed by the devil. Yeah. And he possessed this like priest or whatever to write this thing, to give the designs to a future person to make a demonic machine that would not be at all available. Like you can't make those gears and shit in the 15th century. So why not just wait until like modern day? Yeah. And it opens up the eye of hell or whatever the fuck. Yeah. So it's a number of really bad lines because it's really stupid science. And then she's like, I can't believe he built it, which is just like, you know, I guess that was to maybe give you a little bit of a nod to her future character development. But anyway, I thought it was awesome.
It was a nod to like the whole like, oh, Cyrus, you son of a bitch, you actually did it. Like one of those.
Yeah, things. Right. Do you want to defend any of those lines?
No, I never like things like that in movies because I think it's insulting because they should be able to show you that stuff through the art of filmmaking, not have to open the book and like spill it out to you. It's like in the director's cut of Donnie Darko, they actually paused and showed like freeze framed pictures of the page of that book that described the time travel. Yeah, and the theatrical version was way better because it left a little bit of mystery to it.
Yeah, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
But on the subject, I feel like this is the old Jaws concept, which I'm sure we've talked about on the pod before. But it's always scarier to have the monster at the, like kind of shrouded in mystery.
Yeah.
It goes for this book too. As soon as you explain the junk science, it's now you're like, oh, well, that doesn't that's illogical. That doesn't work. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Why not just not explain it and just have Cyrus catch the 13 ghosts? But also they kind of ruin the movie because they just show you like each one of the ghosts and that they're not actually that deadly or anything. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, and they kind of announce them like WWF wrestlers too. They're like, we have like Hammerface and Torso. Torso?
Yeah, Torso.
It's just a lump on the ground. Like a fucking torso just laying there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we're at 13 already then.
Okay. Oh, it's like a 13 ghosts.
Oh, wow. Hey, how about that? Dennis, as he and fucking Arthur, I almost said Monk, are walking through the hallway with like the barrier glass.
Oh god!
You know that the ghost can just walk around. You know that glass.
Yeah.
The baseball ghost is like hitting the glass with his bat, and Dennis goes, He's swinging for the fences.
That was a punch-up line. That wasn't in the original script. I can guarantee you.
I bet you're right. Yeah, it has all the hallmarks.
They had like fucking Patton Oswalt in the writer's room going like, "Hey, let's put a baseball pun right there."
Yeah, really fucking dumb. Okay, hey, we got another audio clip that comprises another number of fucking dialogue.
Another 42 pieces of dialogue.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it going.
And believe me, this house is not a house. It is a machine. It is a complete and faithful recreation of Basilius' design. According to this, there should be 12 earthbound spirits trapped inside. See these? They represent the Black Zodiac. They represent the ghost that Cyrus needed to catch. The firstborn son. The torso. The bound woman. The withered lover. Jean. The torn prince. The angry princess. The pilgrims. The great child and the dire mother. The hammer. And here the sign of hell's winter. The jackal. And the juggernaut. According to Basilius, the machine required the energy of these specific spirits in order to bring it to life. Once it engages, the spirits are released one by one. The house then draws them to its center. Each one adds its energy to the machine, powering it up.
Powering it up for what?
To open the Ocularis Infernum.
The Ocularis, what's that?
It's Latin. Ocularis. The eye of hell?
Very good.
The eye of hell.
Real quickly.
Yes.
Some behind the scenes stuff, just for anybody that wants to start their own podcast. The way I get the audio is I get whatever app that I'm watching the movie on, and I use an auxiliary cable into an audio interface, and then I try getting like a healthy sized sound wave, like nothing with too many peaks or valleys in it. So I have a nice steady piece of audio, and then I can normalize it in post production where I can kind of make it the same volume as Chris and I.
Yeah.
I didn't raise any volume on that clip because those noises were like blowing my eardrums out.
Yeah, seriously. That's what they're trying to do, man. They're trying to distract you with that shit because it's not scary. And the dialogue is really stupid. It's just another example of junk science. This is. I'm glad that we played those two audio clips though, because is the thing that pisses me off the most about this. I was just thinking, like she says, one by one they're released into the house, and then their energies feed the machine. It's like, what energy are you talking? Why does a ghost has like some kind of mystic energy that like they pour into a machine to do what? What does it do? It's going to open a hole in the ground? It doesn't say.
Is Arthur's wife going to rub her burn scars on like the Oculus Satan or whatever?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea how it operates. I counted at home during that audio clip how many lines I thought were indefensible, and there were 6.
Okay,
in that clip,
I'll give you
which
that.
brings us up to 20. Is there anything in there that you want to defend?
No.
Okay, cool. Number 21. This is Kalina. You've got about 10 minutes until the ectoplasm shit hits the fan. Ectoplasmic, excuse me. You've got about 10 minutes until the ectoplasmic shit hits the fan. It's awful.
Once again, it sounds like another punch-up line.
Yeah, it sounds like another thing out of South Park.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a spooky ghost. It's just ectoplasm. Number 22, and this is this probably be the one that you defend because it's totally not fair. It's just funny.
Yeah.
You know the part where Jean, which is Arthur's wife, like appears to him in like the hospital gown, and she looks like Two-Face. Mm-hmm. He's like, his whole line is, "My God, Jean, I'm nothing without you." Right?
Yeah.
But there's a pause between "My God, Gene" and "I'm Nothing Without You." And I was watching this one with Aaron, and he goes, "My God, Gene," and Aaron goes, "You look like bacon." So I had me laughing.
Yeah.
But, I don't know that we should count it against them because the line's not particularly bad. I just wanted to find a place to tell you that she said that.
Just add it. It's fine.
All right, cool. So we haven't had a line of dialogue yet that you've defended. And
no,
I think since there's 23, it just goes to show how bad the dialogue is. Mm-hmm. It's just a terrible script. 23. All right. How about this? We're going to hear this in an audio clip later. So how about I just scratch off 23?
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to kill the suspense for later. So we'll, there you go. We'll end up giving them a break anyway. So 22 lines of bad dialogue.
Okay.
Do you feel like that's pretty good score? That's pretty accurate?
Yeah. I'm going to add one more if it's cool.
Oh, yeah. I meant to ask you your honorable mention.
I just got one in the junkyard scene when, Dennis gets his pill slapped out of his hand by Cyrus. Which is another, I'll probably come up later in the trope of the pills to like ease your mind.
Yeah,
so
right.
Whatever.
Exactly.
But when he touches the soil, he's like, "You said there were 9 victims. There's like 40."
Yeah.
And then Cyrus comes back and like he's like, "Well, yeah, that's happened after he died." Like they don't explain that these ghosts could like actually kill people in the real world. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, that I found that bothersome.
It totally is. And I just added that Dennis trope so that we don't forget later.
All right, sounds good.
Cool. We're gonna have to take a pause at some point because I have to find my last notebook. I don't know if you want to edit this out in post, but that has the comparisons I meant to do because I don't quite exactly remember every score from Battlefield Earth, and I don't want to end up getting that wrong.
All right. We just finished this segment, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we pause now and then
okay. Yeah.
And then you go get it and then we'll finish the show up. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, man. So let's get into test number 4, the emotometer overspill.
All right.
So this is a piece of custom equipment. We refer to it as the emotometer, and the emotometer can be fine-tuned to the emotional output of the actor in question. When activated, the meter measures the peak of emotion displayed by the actor in a given scene and compares it to the range of genuine human emotion that an actor would actually display. So 10 cages is the maximum. Cages for Nicolas Cage, friend of the pod. Any more than 10 and we record the results. Let's do test number 4, the emotometer overspill.
All right.
You blow a fuse, sing from the time cuts loose.
The emotometer overspill, where screaming is king.
All right, cool. So here's number 1. So this is kind of a catch-em-all.
Okay.
That opening scene that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Dennis and Cyrus.
Okay.
Totally over the top, but more so the ancillary characters, the like goons.
Yeah.
That get killed are so over the top. They end up, there was some cool stuff where they end up getting like smushed like into a car, like broken in half and stuff like that.
That was cool because you got sucked in and like snapped backwards like a folding
chair. Yeah, exactly. But the characters, the goons for Cyrus, came back at 25 when I plugged them in.
Fair. Which
is a high mark to start. But this was an overacted movie for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Also in that opening scene, Kalina says, "Help me! Do something! God damn you, Cyrus!" Which is never good. When you say "God damn you," it's never believable.
Yeah.
It's like I almost just said Cypher because I was thinking of in The Matrix when Trinity is like, "God damn you, Cypher!"
I think the only time it ever worked out. What was the score for that actually?
Oh yeah, I think a 19.
19. Okay. The only time that ever worked out was Charlton Heston in the original Planet of the Apes. Like, "God damn you, apes! Damn you all the hell!"
Yeah, I've actually never seen it.
It's fucking great, dude.
I can't back you up there.
He's just punching the sand, like yelling, "Damn you, apes!"
Well, it sounds believable.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. Dennis talking about the ghosts. What he is? He puts on the glasses. He's in the basement, and then the hammer like scares him.
Yeah.
He goes, God, I hate it when they do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't so bad, but his physical acting was kind of like Ross from Friends.
Yeah.
Very, very wavy. And it came back as 16. I thought it might be higher, but it was just a 16.
Yeah, I could agree with that assessment.
But just to separate it from in the basement in the beginning, like when he was like going to look for the power source, but he wasn't. He just wanted to check out the house. When he's down in the basement and he's squirming around in pain, it is pretty bad. So I plugged that in. There wasn't any dialogue, but his just like seizure movements and stuff. Came back in 18.
Yeah. Okay.
So number 5 is our first clip of the Emotometer overspill, of which there are 3. And that will conclude our clips, but let's do that one.
All right.
My office warned me about this guy.
I know this is going to sound completely whacked, all right? But just stay with me. I used to hunt displaced spiritual energies with your uncle.
I'm sorry?
PK agents, revenants, like wraiths. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? That's okay. I'll do this the easy way. Ghosts. Arthur, I used to hunt ghosts with your uncle Cyrus.
Goats?
Ghosts! God damn it! Listen to me.
Push to in and off.
Goats was kind of funny.
That's if this were in the dialogue bit, that would be one I would defend, because like, have you ever tried explaining something to somebody and they just don't get it?
Yeah, exactly.
Ghosts.
Well, I didn't write it down either, because when he's explaining, like, so you want to use your jargon, like your business jargon, if you want people to believe that you know what you're talking about. If you come out as Dennis there and just say ghost right off the bat, he's not going to believe you. And he's probably not going to believe you anyway. But if you say PK agents and revenant displaced spirits or whatever he says, you sound a little more official and therefore a little more believable, right? But yeah, when he said goats, like Aaron and I chuckled, and then Lillard did that ghost over the top. That came back at 21.
Okay, that was like a Cage-esque yell, so I appreciate it.
It was, yeah, it was. He really went for it, and you got to give him that.
Yeah.
All right, so number 6, Arthur when Kathy's getting attacked by the jackal.
Okay.
So what they did was, you know how sometimes in movies they go to somebody's reaction and then they slow-mo it?
Yeah.
So it like draws out the line. So Monk is like, Kathy! It only came back at 17 because the Emotometer can paste that properly. But with a slow-mo considered it, I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Number 7, Arthur to Kalina. He's this is in the same spot where she's explaining the Arcanum or whatever.
Yeah.
And Kathy just gave him the glasses because he still doesn't really believe. And then he looks through the glass and he sees, like, I don't know, the hammer or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And he says to Kalina, who the hell are you? And what the hell is that? And that came back in 19. Okay. Number 8, Cyrus lifted by the ghost at the end. Do you remember when he's like, whoa, Yep. I had to plug that in. It came back at 21.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? That sounds about right. Yeah.
That's agreeable.
Okay. This is Arthur again. And this, like, right after that scene I was just describing, Kathy, he turns around, he and Kalina turn around and Kathy's not there anymore. Disappeared. Right. So he's like, Kathy, oh no, this can't be happening. Yeah. Came back at 23.
Okay.
Another one of those things you don't say. Like, you wouldn't say in reality, you wouldn't say, oh no.
Yeah.
It makes it sound like you actually don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right. Number 10 is going to be our next audio clip. We have 2 more.
Okay.
And they're both audio clips. Really fun. Let's check it out.
Sounds good.
I hate this job.
I don't seem to like you either. I wonder why.
You got something to say it.
All right, let's start with this. This is all your goddamn fault! If you hadn't caught them, we wouldn't be running from them now, would we?
It's his uncle that built the damn house!
Yeah, but you helped him. How could you help him without knowing what he was doing?
had my reasons.
Money, you parasite. You stole people's souls for money. How depraved is that?
If you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit of a freak! I come within 10 feet of anything dead, I go into seizures. I touch somebody, and a whole life full of shit just flashes in front of my eyes. All right, so yeah, I'm depraved. And Cyrus is my friend, and he accepted me, so...
He didn't accept you. You're so pathetic. He used you.
Shut up, both of you. Let him some slack. What difference does it make?
Yeah, really bad from both of them.
Yeah.
Kalina had a 25 in that clip, but Dennis with a 29.
Oh, nice.
Unbelievable stuff.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
That little bit of a freak, man. Holy shit.
That's something that like a 9th grade girl with like a who's into corn would say.
Yeah, it really is. All right, last audio clip, last clip of the Moto Meter. A little bit of a cool down, but still totally worth playing. So,
all right, sounds good.
If I'm 13.
Son of Ben! Release my kid, you bastard! Now here you want nothing, Arthur! You hear nothing, you loser! I dedicated my entire life to this. Every moment for years. Have you ever shown that kind of dedication?
That line by Cyrus.
Yeah.
So Arthur's like, "You bastard!" And then Cyrus hits him in the stomach or whatever and then throws him down. He's like, you're nothing, you loser.
It's like a mean girl.
Yeah. Just the way that he pronounced it, too. It was just so perfect. Only a 26, and that's a huge score, but not compared to Dennis.
Yeah.
Who is going to challenge Ernest P. Worrell in our full-on SG Championship of the Week.
Oh, God, this is great.
I can't wait for this one.
All right. So should we head on over?
Let's do it.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to ask you.
Hello and welcome to the Ask Geek Arena. We have a battle of nerds on our hands today, and boy, are we excited for this one. Let's send it down for our introductions. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends from distant nations. Introducing first your challenger, standing at 6 feet tall and weighing in at 160 pounds of cocaine-induced pipe cleaner from British Columbia, Canada, Dennis Rafkin. And now, introducing the warrior with a heart of gold. Standing at 5 foot 10 inches tall and weighing in at 160 pounds from Lexington, Kentucky, your reigning, defending full-on ASCII champion of the world, Ernest P. Worrell. There's the bell, and both men trying to get a measure of the other. Dennis places his hand in the dirt, and he is shocked with a twitch of intense pain. He must have some idea of the deaths and brutal combat that have taken place here. "You bastard!" he screams at Ernest. Sprinting at Ernest, Dennis pulls out a flashlight. Ernest, off guard, takes a hard knock on the dome. Dennis, attempting to take advantage, swings for the fences with the flashlight. Ernest, quick as a flash, counters, and an armbar. You can tell that Dennis is in real pain. He's squirming with movement that would suggest a seizure. I wonder what is happening to poor Dennis. Ernest pushing him into the dirt, and Dennis is able to scramble away. Dennis, now reaching into his pocket, pulls out some clear glasses. He puts them on and screams in horror, looking right at Ernest. What does he see? Dennis haunted. Ernest undaunted. Ernest with a kick to the head of Dennis. Dennis rolls, but Ernest is on him. A big leg lock, and Ernest pulls him at the knees. My God, twisting Dennis in half. Dennis fighting back with all he's got. Ernest snaps him in half at the waist. The strength. Dennis is still alive, coughing up blood. And Ernest is basking in his victory. He places his face into Dennis's. He's wiping his opponent's blood all over him like some kind of war paint. This is a disturbing scene indeed. Well, that about does it here. Dennis can't move and Ernest is letting him suffer. That's not why we are here. It's not our purpose here at Ask Geek Arena to watch suffering. So we send it back to you guys at the pod. Ernest remains your champion. We are seeing another side of Ernest here, indeed.
I like I said off air to you, I have a few artist friends who would love to draw Psycho Ernest. So I'm gonna talk to them this week and see if we can get a mock up done just for the Instagram page or something.
Yeah, it's I'm so happy that we found him. It's making writing these so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Snaps him in half, dude. Unreal.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what his obsession. That's 2 weeks in a row he's been like licking the blood of his victims.
Just pouring it into his mouth and flapping his tongue around.
Total nutbag. All right, man. You want to do your ad read?
Oh yeah, if I can get through this one.
Okay, cool.
Right. Today's episode of The Bomb Filter is brought to you by Cornhub. Looking for X-rated content that's a little heavier? Want to hear a backing track that features bass that sounds like a bag of nails thrown down the stairs? Want to hook up with a nymphomaniac stepsister who will all over your... Check out Cornhub, and all your erotic needs will be fulfilled. I couldn't get through that one.
It's the fact that Jonathan Davis has his own language, so I totally understood what you were doing.
Yeah.
It's not a language that he ever wrote out and makes any sense. So that was fucking hilarious. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. There's this one meme I always think of. It's one of those the black text on the white background. It's just one of those, and it's just sleep paralysis. But it's John Davis in the corner of your room doing that weird scat thing.
That's really good. All right. Let's do test number 5, man.
Okay.
The poor taste detector.
All right.
So this test is designed to identify and flag potential hazards created by the film crew. These hazards consist of moments of immorality, abuse, racism, phobias, and any other in poor taste scenarios.
Okay.
Test number 5, the poor taste detector.
Oh my God, you can't say that. It's 2021.
All right.
All right, how about number 1 here? Just debatable. Showing your dead form to your son.
Yeah, that was fucked up. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
I thought so too. I wasn't sure because, at the end, she's able to appear as, regular mom.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe because, the spell is broken or something. I don't know. But, showing up with the hospital gown and the bacon,
Yeah, it's weird if she was floating around with the other ghosts and by happenstance she ran into him. I can understand that. But she walks up to him with her IV pole.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
because that kid's going to see that for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I would if I were his dead mom. I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Luckily, you're not.
Yeah, good thing.
You're also not a knife and not a gun. I feel like as the podcasts go on here, we're establishing all the things you aren't.
I'm going to get broken down to nothingness eventually.
So is the universe. So
yes.
Shannon Elizabeth's character that's Cappy, is obsessed with bathrooms. So there's 38 minutes, 38 minutes into the movie, she's mentioned the bathroom 4 times. I think it's in poor taste to make a character that one-dimensional.
Yeah, it is a thing though. Another podcast I listened to, Dick Masterson's show. He was saying how his he has 2 bathrooms in his house. And he just lets his girl have one herself because it always ends up looking like a CVS exploded in the bathroom. So
yeah, I get it.
I mean, and I've grown up with an older sister, and it's just they do kind of turn the bathroom into these weird steamy sanctuaries that smell like cucumber melon.
That's not. There are worse things.
Yeah.
Number 3, the lawyer says to the boobies, right?
Yeah.
He says, "Nice tits." Whoa, geez, you. What's the matter? Bad representation?
Yeah.
Yeah, poor taste all around. Mm-hmm. that was definitely the minute I heard that. I was like,
it's not exactly not exactly a pickup line.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah.
Number 4, Kathy is attacked by the jackal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It, of course, exposes her boob. And here's another, so, I mean, it's just another one of those, we're going to sell sex here a little bit. So men like the movie a little bit more. But Aaron was like, this should be in your poor taste thing, which I was thinking the same thing. And I was like, why? And she said, because they show the meat of the boob.
The boob meat.
Yeah, the meat of the boob, she said. Yeah. It's like, that's really funny. I'm going to have to say that too.
Yeah.
So number 5, and there are a couple of these, but the black actress Rah Digga.
Mm-hmm.
It's Rah Digga, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm here in a glass house with a bunch of crazy white people.
That felt like a punch-up line too.
Yeah, and it's just like overdone, you know. Like
the same. I finish your thought.
I just feel bad for this poor actress, like, you know, trying to get into movies, and like all black actors and actresses in, like, you know, standard white people movies in the 90s had to mention that they were black. Like, you know, so why can't you just not give them a line where they're showing the fact that they're different? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, and at the very end, when she's like, "Oh hell no, I'm no longer Nat," it's like, do you really have to, like, really? It's like you're sassy, pissed off black lady. Like she was a smart character throughout the film, and she had these random, like, almost like Dave Chappelle when Keeping It Real goes wrong moments.
Yeah, exactly. But that's, you know, I don't feel like you should be. Dave Chappelle has plenty of authority to make that skit, but that's not a skit you should be putting into this 90s 13 Ghosts movie.
Yeah.
Number 6, just to break it up, because I have another one of hers, but I'll wait a minute. Number 6, at some point they stopped searching for Bobby.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I don't think I could do that. I think I would be tearing the house apart until I found myself.
His scooter was fucking annoying.
Yeah.
It made Arthur spill his coffee at the beginning of the movie.
That's true. Yeah, good point. Maybe that's why he was like, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Arthur's just grinding his teeth like, finally this fucking kid's gone.
Number 7, I'm going to go back to Rah Digga here.
Right.
Maybe one of the worst moments in poor taste history that I've ever seen, by the way.
Okay.
The black DJ nanny at the end.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, like, Cyrus has the, like, Gregorian chant tape thing going, and then all of a sudden you hear wicked, 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 and I was like, oh my god, they're not doing this. And then they bring the camera over to Maggie, I think her name is, and she's fucking, like, DJing the booth, and it's like, this is not a scary. It was like Scary Movie, a Scary Movie joke, you know, the movie Scary Movie. But I thought it was in such poor taste to make her a DJ all of a sudden that I had to star it and mention that it's one of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And finally, then I'll ask you if you have any mentions, but number 8, Maggie and Bobby, the son, are having a what's the difference between slut and bitch conversation over breakfast. Yeah. That was also pretty offensive. He's like 7 or something.
Yeah.
You got any mentions?
For poor taste, not really. I mean, like, you kind of touched on it. Just like the whole fact that the son and daughter were missing for, like, the entire second act, and then most of the third, kind of bothered me.
Yeah, definitely. There's just like, he says, like, I just want to find my kids, and I don't even know if they're alive or something. Yeah. It's like, it does kind of sound wishful.
Yeah.
Like, you don't say that. It's like, you know, serial killer, like the Family Annihilators.
Yeah.
You know, when they're interviewing with cops, they're like, yeah, I don't even know if I don't even think they're alive at this point. You know, they're not. And you're happy about that.
Yeah.
You're trying to, like, start a new life with some other woman. So yeah, definitely in poor taste. So that's 8. And it's 29 on the emote too. That's crazy. All right, 8 for poor taste. And let's do test number 6, pal.
All right.
Accounting for entropy. Oof. So bad movies rely too heavily on films of the past. When recycling an idea, a director or writer is committing to a trope. Almost every movie has 1 or 2, but bad movies have many. We count them up, and that helps us to evaluate the film. Test number 6, accounting for entropy.
Obvious tropes, brought to you by, oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? We're gonna need a bigger boat, and well, fuck me sideways and call me Senator Blimpy.
All right, so this was not the tropiest movie I've ever seen, but we've got a good number here. Dennis instant dirt download in the beginning. What did we call that? Don't we have a name for that?
It's not the clockwork because that's different. Instant dirt download. I don't know. Let's just call it that. We can't.
Yeah, it's clockwork. Yeah. Clockwork Orange dirt download. Okay. The number 2, the Jurassic Park opening.
Mm-hmm.
So this does happen a lot where they're trying to catch something like super intense in the beginning and a bunch of people die and it sets the mood. Jurassic Park did a great job.
Yeah.
With that idea. Number 3, the pills.
Yep.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that trope so much because we explained it in the Wicker Man episode. It's like it's got to be benzodiazepine or like Valium or something like that. And they pop them like Tic Tacs, and it goes back to that South Park episode when he goes into the Matrix and they're just like slugging down like Southern Comfort, and like, they come out with their guns and they're just like popping off into the air like that's what you would be like if you took like 3 of those pills.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but not in movies. In movies, you can take as many as you want.
Yeah, they're just drinking out of the canister without counting them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Number 4, ghosts respond to Latin. Somehow Latin language just controls ghosts.
There's older languages in Latin, so I don't know why they always do that. There's like Syriac and Sanskrit and other... Yeah.
Well, and while I'm thinking of it, because I didn't write this down anywhere, I don't think, but they were unimaginative in the amount of time that has passed since the first ghost was made. There wasn't like a Mayan ghost.
No.
I think maybe the Pilgrimus, the one that's in like a yoke,
Yeah.
It's probably the oldest ghost because she was like a witch in maybe the early 1800s or something.
Yeah.
That's about as far back as they go. That's kind of lame.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone else was from like the 90s or like the 70s or 80s, like.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of dumb. That's kind of like how Neil deGrasse Tyson is pissed off that ghosts or that aliens are unimaginable. Like the Blob, he says is a good one.
Yeah.
But most have arms and legs like humans do. And that you could be more creative than that.
He just doesn't like letting people cope with the fact that when we see things we can't understand, we attribute our own features to them in a way to understand them. And he's a fucking asshole. I hate that guy.
He can, dude. One. All right, so I like the Cosmos Show.
Yeah.
So I'm of 2 minds on him because like I've learned a lot from him for sure. But but on the other side, he lies a lot. I think
the pop science shit I don't like. I don't like Neil deGrasse Tyson on Twitter.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And he ruins movies a lot, and people aren't asking you to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, it's like, oh, the next guy wouldn't be like that in the Titanic. Like, nobody actually really cares, though, do they?
No, they want to watch the romance, the mystique.
Yeah, we're not here for the stars.
Yeah,
we're here for the stars.
Mm.
Number 5, the blood-sucking lawyer. Another little Jurassic Park reference.
Yeah,
guy will do anything for money.
Yeah, and when I worked for the payroll company, I did a lot of law firms. And they're all really, 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 really nice people. Like
I believe it.
They drink a shitload, but like they're like really nice.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. Number 6, ghosts can speak through a stereo system.
Yeah.
Number 7, the horror movies split up. So you guys go this way, we'll go this way.
Yeah.
Number 8, if we get out alive, I got to get a pay raise. You mentioned this one already.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a ton. 9, in order to save your children, you must trade your life for theirs.
Yep.
10, Dennis's self-sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden he's a martyr and we just love him for it.
Yep.
11, and my last.
Okay.
He jumps into the machine. So he makes the leap of faith.
Yeah.
But he comes out unscathed.
Mm-hmm.
How lucky. Must have been fate.
Yeah. And a guy, like, he's not, I'm going to choose my words because, being a father of 2, like you are as well. Like, I'm not in my best shape right now. I've gotten a little doughy.
Me too.
I took my daughter bike riding on like the tennis court with her like training wheels.
Yeah. Cool.
And my legs hurt.
Yeah.
And that guy's like 10 years my senior.
Mm-hmm.
Probably doesn't work out.
No.
he's not in bad shape, but he can't make a running leap like that. Land and focus his weight so he doesn't on that tiny circle. Land so he doesn't focus his weight and fall off that circle forward.
Yeah,
he has that much stopping power. He has that calf strength and like that knee strength. He doesn't.
No, he definitely doesn't. That's an illogical. That should be an illogical inconsistency. Yeah. Well said, sir. Mm. Did you want to mention anything else for tropes, or move on to test number 7?
We'll just move on. I think you captured all like the big ones.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't like incredibly tropey. I mean, 11 is a good number, but we've had way tropier movies for sure. Yeah. And here comes the test that's going to shine a little bit of light on what was good about this movie.
Okay.
Which we don't often do because most of the movies that we review don't have anything redeemable. So
yeah,
good on you, 13 Ghosts. This one's called Bad Effects, Side Effects.
All right.
So this is a simple test idea with a complex but accurate structure. We grade the movie's computer graphics and practical effects, makeup, scene setting, stuff like that, on a custom scale. Bad CGI, like the worst, is Deep Blue Sea for the sharks in that movie, which were atrocious. Slightly better Total Recall, pretty weird looking practical effects now. Maybe it was good for the time, Bob. Bob, I hear you. Better still, Rock Scorpion. This is the Mummy Returns, Dwayne Johnson, half Scorpion God, whatever. Looks like crap. Best of the bad, Beowulf, a movie that was made entirely of CGI and looks eerie because it's almost real, but you can tell it isn't. So Beowulf is our best score. You get a 4 for that, all the way down to a 1 for Deep Blue Sea. Let's do test number 7, Bad Effects, Side Effects.
Bad CGI till the day I die.
All right, cool. So, like I said, they got a lot that I'm going to reward, but there are a few that I'm going to knock them for. Starting with, did you see the Dark Castle opening?
Yeah.
The graphic for Dark Castle was awful. And it actually made me feel like the rest of the movie was going to suck CGI-wise.
Yeah.
So I gave it a recall, but like I said, it doesn't suck. I just was surprised that a major company like Dark Castle would have such a bad opening CGI. Number 2, the car lot scene I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, the bodies being smushed, and like especially the guy in the cube is getting banged against the sides.
Yeah,
and as he hit it, like different, like his skin would break open and he'd start bleeding, and it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. I give it a Scorpion.
Cool.
Not the best, but pretty cool. The computer graphic background is another one I'm digging them for. The Zoom call, like basically the reading of the Will and Testament. The background looked super shitty. Looked like
just like Batman and Robin, like when Alfred was talking about his brain algorithms.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I downloaded my brain algorithms to the Bat computer. Ridiculous. Recall there.
Yeah.
Beowulf for the lawyer getting cut in half, dude.
Oh, that was fucking cool.
That looked fucking cool. That was like, I was like, cool. That is really nice. So Beowulf there. The machine, the actual like mechanism of the Oculus Inferno or whatever.
Yeah.
A recall. It looks like the Game of Thrones, like the thing like in the very beginning of the show when it looks like that and not nearly as cool. So I give it a recall because it looks pretty fake.
Okay.
The horror costume design, just in general, I give them a Beowulf. I thought a lot of the ghosts looked fucking cool.
Yeah, they really did.
Really cool. But they didn't, like I said in the plot pitch, they didn't give it a lot of time.
They didn't utilize them. They could have used way more screen time.
Agreed. A couple of them are stupid, like the fat baby and the dire mother or whatever.
Yeah, that one bothered me.
Lame. But overall, Beowulf.
Yeah.
Far too much slow-mo.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so a recall.
Mm-hmm.
The house itself for Beowulf. I just think it's a fucking cool house.
The house is fucking awesome.
The Kalina squish when Cyrus turns on her.
Yeah.
Also a Beowulf. It really looked like her skull got crushed. I don't know how they did that. It was cool. And the building blowing up was a scorpion. Because it really did look like the building was getting torn apart by like explosives. She brought enough TNT or whatever to blow them back into the 15th century. But as the ghosts were leaving, and I'll get a little bit more into why during our illogical inconsistencies. It actually was a recall because they used fake fog like they did in Waterworld.
Yeah, like dry ice or just a
yeah, but it was like CGI. And it looked like shit. And then as the ghosts are like disappearing, didn't look super good either. So a recall there, just like a little one more little knock. But I added up all the 1s through 4s that they got, and they didn't have a single deep blue.
Yeah.
So the result was 2.9. So I rounded up to a scorpion.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's a good score. Good score.
I just wanted to have a nod to we don't have to score this, but just the alternating view between seeing the ghosts and not seeing them, like the glasses on, glasses off.
Yeah.
Like especially in the bathroom, like when she's like running the bath water and like it cuts and shows, like all the blood in the tub. And then like they did that really, really well.
They did. That's a good point. Yeah, I think that would still keep it in Scorpion territory, but that's a good thing to mention, definitely, because all those like quick cuts between like the ghost world and the regular world were really well done. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's do the illogical inconsistencies. I've got a little list here, so we'll go
smiling.
Yeah, feel free to interject whenever you so desire.
Yeah. Real quickly, I'm going to snap a couple photos for our Instagram of us doing the show. So say hi. Whoa. All right. Just so our followers could see us.
All right. Nice. All right. This is what we look like.
Yeah.
All right. So my first bit of stuff here is why not open the gate in the very beginning? Why'd they drive through it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're using the blood truck, too, to ram the gate.
The blood truck. I love,
so what...
Dennis is just like, blood? You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah. Well, what if they knock into the gate and it leaks the blood out? Like, Cyrus is going to kill everybody because he's a maniac. Millions spent on the gear and equipment for the goons, and the goons are wearing protective trash bags.
Yeah, they're wearing like what you would wear if you were cleaning a bathroom, like
exactly.
state fair or something like that.
Pretty dumb. Dennis is a supernatural human. Is he like the only one on Earth?
Yeah, I guess he's like the medium that charged the best day rate or something.
Yeah, probably. That's good. Why would a truck full of blood attract a ghost?
Yeah, it's not a shark. Or a bear.
Yeah, right. And who built that truck? Because the company that built the, schematics for the truck that holds blood is now a liability. Like this happens a lot, but Cyrus didn't build it himself. And furthermore, who filled it? And where'd you get the blood?
Yeah, where'd they get the blood?
Could it be animal blood or something? But then that's a lot of unnecessary
that's a lot
murder.
Of fucking blood.
Yeah, a ton of blood. If you're working for Cyrus at the junkyard, maybe not to run into the trap.
Yeah.
The fucking guy just sprints into the trap like it's going to save him.
Yep.
Kathy and Bobby were playing tag in that, that sentimental scene. Was that tag? That was the worst looking game of tag I've maybe ever seen.
It wasn't good.
They kind of just trade spots and touch each other and smile and laugh. I actually thought that the key was super cheesy.
Yeah, the giant the thing that also bothered me about the key, now that you mention it, is he immediately knew how to use it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. 12 Latin signal door. I'm just gonna shove it in here and twist it, and I know it's gonna get sucked in, and I pull my hand away. It was. It's like, how do you know?
That's a very good point. Yeah. And it belongs here, so well said. So Monk is Cyrus's nephew.
Yeah.
What do they have? There's a 5-year difference in age, a 10-year maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not age appropriate whatsoever. They should have gotten.
I guess if Cyrus had a really, really old sister, and then
her brother or whatever,
a kid,
right?
would that be cousins? I guess it'd be nephew still.
Yeah.
But
I guess
they could have done better at that.
Why do they need and how can they afford a nanny?
That was going to be one of my mentions because they could, you saw all the past due bills and stuff in that opening scene.
Right.
So
you gotta let her go. I'm sorry.
And on top of that, the older daughter, she had to have been 17 or 18. She could walk after her fucking brother.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I was feeling too. Why would any glass door shut fast enough to cut somebody in half?
Yeah, that's a good point. To look cool, I guess. It
yeah,
really cool, so
it did. Bobby, don't go into the basement alone. Does that really sound like Maggie? I mean, the person's like, Bobby. Like, I'm not sure it's a good idea to go down there, Bobby.
Yeah.
How did Cyrus make money? By catching revenant spirits for his own collection? Because that's all he did, and he somehow has like billions of dollars.
They implied somehow at the beginning that he squandered all the family's wealth, which wouldn't be enough, but that would, I guess, explain like a little bit.
That's true.
It. Yeah.
That's true. Why would Dennis take the money deal again? So, like, he took the money deal from Cyrus, and Cyrus stiffed him, and he almost died from the Juggernaut Ghost. And then Arthur is like, I'll give you whatever Cyrus owes you. And he's like, okay, I'll risk my fucking life again.
Yeah.
I would not take that deal.
Yeah.
Rob, is this the worst soundtrack ever?
Like in the picture, or is there an actual like soundtrack that was released as well? Like, you mean it's
like, I don't know.
Like the film score?
That up.
Yeah, you mean like the film score?
Yeah, well,
the
score was fine, but like the sound, there were a couple of songs, like we mentioned that Rod Digga had a song with like Busta Rhymes for the Flick or whatever.
Yeah.
Which was terrible. It plays at the end.
Okay.
But there was also that song, they're like going to the house, and it's the only time where they cut to like a song that would also be on the soundtrack. And it's like, I believe in people lying.
Yep.
I believe in people dying. I believe in people trying. It's like the most basic lyrical song you could have ever. It didn't make any sense. So,
and I didn't look at the actual soundtrack, but I could imagine like Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba being in there somewhere.
I mentioned this before, but what's with the giant baby and the small mom? The baby is like 40.
I don't know.
And how are they preserved together? That's not how ghosts work.
Yeah, they're not one ghost. That
right.
Now, I don't know.
I don't know either. How did the chick with the cage, I think the jackal, how did the one with the cage on her head die? Like, what was the torture? She was in like a straitjacket and they put a cage on her head?
Her face was fucked up. Maybe like, they did like what they did in 1984 to the main guy where they just put a bunch of rats in it or something.
Yeah, maybe. Because I was wondering who opened the cage in the front? Because that was like, those were like real steel bars. Somebody had to like bend those back.
Mm-hmm.
Was that before she was a ghost or?
Yeah, or did her ghost break the cage? There's lots of unanswered questions here.
Tons.
Yeah.
I thought the glasses were kind of lame. They're clear and they have a tiny little light and that lets them see ghosts. How did Kalina know when to slip through the house? Kind of mentioned it before, but
once again, one false move and you'll get sliced in half by the doors.
Yeah. So I thought maybe she was in the house the whole time because she was working with Cyrus, it turns out.
She had to have been because I guess she had to have been in the house and just said she snuck in because there's no way she could have gotten in that.
Yeah, but it's stupid. Yeah. So Dennis is running from the ghost. I don't remember what's the jackal or the hammer or something. Mm-hmm. And he turns a corner.
Yeah.
Not goes like past a barrier or anything, but he turns a corner and Kalina is there like coming out of the floor and that scares him. And then he's no longer afraid of the ghost that was chasing him down the hallway.
Yeah, that's part of the inconsistency of his character. Is like he seems to be like in hysterics or like taking charge, or he seems to be like the smart guy who knows what's going on, or the guy who's like a little confused by how the house is working or whatever. He's an inconsistent character because like there's that when he gets locked in the cage, the cube by himself, he's just like, yeah, nice job, like the way you would when a coworker screws you over or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it just struck me as strange because the ghost is theoretically about to turn that corner and eat you or beat you up or whatever. Why is his wife the fourth ghost? Does that mean that they've had to catch like 8 since she died?
The timeline doesn't make sense then because she's only been dead for 6 months.
Right.
Yeah.
So in 6 months they had to catch 8 ghosts.
Yeah. But the earlier ghosts were centuries older. I think, right? The pills.
Yeah, my brain like just exploded. I'm currently piecing it back into my head. Was Cyrus's plan to have Arthur sacrifice himself?
I think I think that's what
because that would mean that he risked it all by releasing the ghosts like one by one while they were just like perusing the house.
Yeah,
that's maybe the most inconsistent thing is that you never really get a grasp on what Cyrus's plan actually was because he has like Kalina, his little agent, in there making sure that Arthur doesn't get killed, but Arthur is like free reign when the first like 5 ghosts are out.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what his plan was.
Do you have any more on Cyrus? Because I want to give you one.
Go ahead, and then I'll just skip it if I come to it.
So his finances were in order. He was lawyered up. He clearly faked his own death.
Yeah.
And some time has passed, maybe a week or two, presumably, before they get to the house. So he's just sitting there hiding with his fake like neck sawed off the entire time. Like, he could have changed his clothes or done anything. That pissed me off so much.
That's true. It's kind of like Guile in Street Fighter when he's just like laying in the like morgue under the seat.
He's waiting for 2 weeks. He's going, she'll come sooner or later.
Yeah. It's getting rather cold in here though.
Yeah.
Enough explosives to blow them back to the 15th century, but you only brought like 5 flares that repel ghosts. If you don't have a tape recorder with Latin chanting, do you need to get a like large gathering of Latin speaking priests? and where did he have a large gathering of Latin priests like talking into a tape recorder, and now he has that like for when he wants to operate the machine?
Yeah, I guess.
Arthur's wife is able to not disappear right away like the rest of them. She's back in her pre-fire form.
Yeah.
But the rest are leaving in their tortured form.
Is it because an act of love or whatever they tried, whatever bullshit they tried spelling for the sacrifice?
I guess. I mean, it's impossible to know. Why did he have to leap at all? I don't really know.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to chop him up into bits and then Cyrus would be like, but Cyrus is already dead. So who would operate the Oculus Inferno?
I don't know, but I had a really funny, imagined alternate scene where he dives into it, but the machine was breaking and slowing down. What if he jumped like 5 minutes too late and he just like, he's just
kind of got stuck.
He got like half squash. He's just sitting there like, help me.
Like the guy in the car.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
Yeah, just sitting there like waiting for help.
Okay, so I just want to spell this out, and this will be the end of my illogical inconsistency. Okay. So Satan designed a machine by possessing a 15th century philosopher and giving him the super futuristic designs for the Eye of Hell and the power of Satan, and Cyrus was the first to try it.
Yes.
Okay, let's go into your movie review.
Okay, let me just grab my phone real quick. I'm getting interference from my phone, so let me take a look here.
Oh, okay.
This is a little different, so
yeah.
All right. Pour 3 tablespoons of chocolate syrup in 1/4 cup of milk, or half and half, into a 16-ounce glass. While beating vigorously with a fork, slowly add club soda until the glass is almost full. Add a straw and serve very cold. That is the recipe for a New York-style egg cream.
Okay. Nice.
I figured since we've been dissecting this movie for over an hour now, I would give our audience something they could use positively in their life. So it's actually a delicious beverage. It's fizzy. It's like a fizzy chocolate milk. It's really good.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. So I'll have to play that back and give it a try. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, cool. I'm going to get into bad credit names. Another week of disappointment here, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah.
Not many good ones. I'll start slow and ramp it up. Number 1, Tom Gregg.
Okay. 2 first names.
Number 2, Ling Yang again. This is Yin Yang person whose name is Ling Yang. Ron Pipes II.
That's a contender right there.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Mick Duff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. King Sweeney. Gotta mention her again. Played Maggie. Rah Digga.
Okay.
Michael Cox.
Yes.
So, he goes by Michael for a reason, for sure.
Yeah, Mike Cox, yep.
Yep. And lastly, Jerry Gullett.
Oh God, that's unfortunate.
Rough.
Fuck.
And I was going to mention that Rah Digga does a song at the end, but we did already talk about that.
Okay.
So you want to compare the movies, and then we'll plug our stuff.
Let's do it.
Cool. Battlefield Earth and the Keystone Apparatus got a negative 40% and is Prey. 13 Ghosts, a negative 20, Prey as well.
Okay.
So 1 for Battlefield Earth, the unstoppable machine that it is.
Yeah.
Plot pitch, 81 seconds for Battlefield Earth, Jesus, and a 2 stars, so also a bad plot.
All right.
13 Ghosts, you gave me a 5-star
yeah.
for that, and a 54-second, which is a high score, but you just can't fuck with Battlefield Earth here.
Nope.
13 Ghosts also had 22 lines of bad dialogue, which is incredible.
Okay.
But loses to 25 by Battlefield Earth.
All right.
The emotometer, here's a chance to swing back. Dennis Rafkin gave us a 29, so he takes the emote over Turl with his 27.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Poor taste. How many tropes did we end up with? 11?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me jot that down. I didn't for some reason. So poor taste, 15 for Battlefield Earth, only 8 for 13 Ghosts, and 22 tropes, which doubles the 11 from 13 Ghosts. So yeah, Battlefield Earth has twice as many. And then Battlefield Earth also wins the CGI battle with a recall over Scorpion, which, again, 13 Ghosts just deserves a little admiration for their visual effects in this one. So a score of 6-1, Battlefield Earth is still your champion.
Okay.
And Ernest is going strong.
Yeah. And just a side note, like I'm a fan of Matthew Lillard. He's in one of my favorite movies, Salt Lake City Punks.
Okay, I've never seen that.
It's I sent you a clip from it. It's basically about this guy graduates from high school and he lives in Utah in the suburbs. His parents are like super straight and narrow.
Yeah.
And he, instead of going to law school, he decides to go to Salt Lake City and he'd be all about anarchy and punk and drugs and boozing. And it's acted out like a Ferris Bueller movie where he breaks the fourth wall. A scene's happening behind him.
Oh, okay.
He steps out in front of it and it pauses behind him. And like he points to each person, like gives you their backstory real quickly, and they'll show you a scene for each person. And then that scene will resume. And it was really cool. It's a fun movie with like a devastatingly sad ending, but it's one of those, it's the character that like Matthew Lillard should be playing. Like it's knowledgeable, it's smart, but kind of goofy and
stoner.
Reserved when he needs to be. And like he did a really good performance in that, and I strongly recommend it, but I was disappointed because he was great in Scream. He was great.
Yeah, he was good in Scream.
What was the other one? I can't think of right now, but I really love SLC Punk. That's a fucking phenomenal movie. And
Without a Paddle, maybe another bad movie that might make it on the pod.
I'll watch that. That's with Seth Green, right?
Yeah,
I'll watch that.
Okay, maybe next season we'll throw that in.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you want to plug us?
Yeah, so we are the Bomb Filter. You can email us at bombfilterpod@gmail.com. You can hear us on Spotify, Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, iTunes. Please leave us a review on iTunes. 5 stars if you really love us. And if you really don't like us, leave us 5 stars as well, because that way your stuff gets read. It'll just float to the top a lot easier than a 1 star.
Hell yeah.
That's one thing you should just, we have 20 reviews on there and they're all 5 stars. So people like what we're doing so far, and we're slowly but surely building up a listener base. We have we're getting like 50 unique downloads a week, which isn't terrible, but like we want to grow that number.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're working on that. And Chris, you want to plug the social real quick?
Yeah, I do. Check out our Instagram. Rob, I think you said you're going to post a little screenshot of us. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll post it I'll make a post. I'll tell them how the sausage is made.
Yeah, cool. So our Instagram is pretty active. You can take a look at all the posters that we've posted for the movies. Every time we post that an episode is going up, we find like a unique poster for the movie on there. So you can scroll through, and if anything takes to your liking, you can find that pod here on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
We're very active on Instagram, so if you want to send us a message there, we'll see it for sure. But we also have a Twitter, a TikTok, a Reddit, so we're all over. But hit us up on Instagram, send us a Gmail, and that's about it. Thank you for listening very much. We appreciate it.
And also just keep an eye out on
next
Instagram.
Week.
What's up?
Next week.
Oh yeah, next week is it's Grease 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God, we'll get back into
fun with that
season.
one. I think we're gonna have really good clips on that one, and also keep an eye on the Instagram. I try doing fun things in the stories, like Q&As and like what's your favorite movie and that kind of stuff. So you could always participate in that as well. And with that being said, this has been the Bomb Filter, and we'll see you guys next week.
Cool.